Yes, my name is Mawia Hello. I'm an IELTS instructor and TOEFL instructor as well. I've been teaching IELTS for a long time, and it's nice to meet you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Today we're gonna have like a short introduction for IELTS for those who have like an inquiry, what do we mean by IELTS? Before we start, who can tell me what do we mean by IELTS? What is IELTS, the shorten of what?
International English License.
So close, thank you. Help him please. Yes? International English.
International English language system.
Thank you so much. So let's move on. It's an international English language testing system. What do you think IELTS tests? What does it test? It tests what? English language? What does it test? What is it, please?
Proficiency.
Proficiency, thank you. Skills, amazing. Give me more.
Listening, writing, reading.
So what are the 4 skills that we are concerned about?
Writing, listening, speaking, reading.
Thank you so much. Excellent. You're amazing. It seems you don't need IELTS, guys. You're okay. So it is an international exam. It tests our proficiency, as you said. Yes, you can sit in, please. Thank you. Okay. So, and today we're going to talk about what is IELTS Academic. Fatih, because I know only your name. You're going to be like the hero of the class today, okay? Okay, why did I say academic? Why do you think we said academic, IELTS for academic? Is there another kind of IELTS?
Yes,
General IELTS, thank you so much. So our course will be for academic study, not for general, but during our course we usually come across some ideas regarding, and some skills, let's say, regarding the general ones, okay? So we will move on a little bit. IELTS International English Language Testing System is an English language exam that is required to be taken in international candidates considering studying or working in a country where English is the main language of communication. Who can tell me what kind of countries? Well, can you name some countries? Canada, mostly Canada, UK, thank you.
New Zealand, Australia.
Mr. New Zealand, yes, Australia, thank you. And some parts of America also, they take IELTS as well. Okay, so it is an international exam that is required in many English language speaking countries. If you want to work, if you want to study, it's very important for you to have. Please take into consideration it is it's only valid for 2 years. After the 2 years, you need to do the exam again. Okay. So the admissions are for UK, Australia, New Zealand, USA, and Canada as well. Major for Canada, like most, because now most of you are planning to go to Canada, so Canada is number 1 on this. Cross fingers for this. Okay. So as one of your friends said, that the exam measures the ability of test takers to communicate in 4 skills, 4 major skills. They concerned about 4 major skills, which is reading, listening, speaking, and writing as well. Of course, for each one, always in our courses, in each one we come across every single skill in details. What do you think? Why do we need to take the course? Can you study the course by yourself? Can you take the IELTS by yourself? Thank you, lady. To improve our conversation. What else?
To learn a new technique.
New techniques.
Improve your writing.
Improve writing skills. Thank you. Come on. Yes.
How to manage the time.
Amazing. Time management. Time management is very, very, very important, by the way. This is the key of success in IELTS, time management. This is what we always come across in our courses. This is what we usually help you. I'm not going to say teach you, because if you are applying for an IELTS exam, that means your English should be like high level, okay? So we are not going to teach you the English language as a language itself. We're going to teach you the skills that we need in order to pass this exam, okay? So it's about teaching the skills, how to pass the exam. Okay, IELTS exam is jointly owned and conducted by IDP Education Australia, British Council, and Cambridge English Language Assessment. That's why here in project we teach Cambridge books, because as you see here, it is a Cambridge English language assessment. So we need like let's say a trustful resource to depend on in order to pass and in order to score high. That's why if you just ask for the book, you will see it is a Cambridge book. We follow the Cambridge system. This is for those who first they ask what is the book. Okay, it's a Cambridge book. Of course, there are many like other resources you can depend on, but this one is one of the best. Okay. Now, if we move on, what does the IELTS exam consist of? We previously talked about this. Now we will talk about this in details. Listening. Now, if you ask me, Miss, how long is the test? Are we going to do the test, all the tests at the same time, or is it divided? What do you think? Divided. How is it divided? Yes, Miss?
Every skills have the example writing maybe is 17 minutes, writing 40 minutes.
Okay, you're so close. You're so close. Yes, extra.
The speaking is in another time.
On a different day. Very good. Now, there is something very nice I want to tell you about. Of course, the three skills, always listening, reading, and writing, would be on one day. The speaking is on a different day. But because of our circumstances in Syria, and we need to travel to another country in order to do the exam, like usually if you are doing the exam in Beirut, you can ask to do the speaking on the same day. So they manage for you to do the exam on the same day, maybe before the writing exam or after the writing exam. Usually the three exams are always done at the same day, and this one on a separate day. But again, we can do it, it's up to you. If you are doing the exam in Beirut, it's up to you. You can do it on the same day or on a different day. So it doesn't matter. Now, always here, we cannot go out of the classroom when we are doing the exam. You need to stay all this time in the same class, doing the exam. Once you're done, you can leave. No, with others, with other students, and there are people who are watching you, and many other criteria they depend on. Now, for the listening, they usually start with the listening one. The listening exam will be about 30 minutes. It could be 33, 35, 32. It depends on the length of the recording. There are 40 questions in the listening exam. Always you have many different kinds of questions, usually 10 different types of questions, okay? Now, you have multiple choice questions, you have diagram to complete, sentence to complete, table to complete, and those all related to the listening part. So again, 30 minutes, they will stop after the 30 minutes, they will give you time to shift your answers from the paper that you are writing on to the answer sheet. Then you will move directly to the reading section. The reading is 1 hour. Again, with 40 questions, you need to finish 3 passages, sometimes 4, but usually there are 3 passages. The passages they increase in difficulty. So you start with an easy one, then one which is more difficult, then the last one would be the most difficult one. So usually you need to divide your time logically, okay? This is what we are going to talk about during our courses, how to divide our time while we are doing the exam. Managing time is the key of success here. After we're done with the reading part, we move on to the writing part. The writing part is 60 minutes. It's more than you expected. Sorry, it's 60 minutes. You have 2 tasks of writing. Right, task 1, it is usually now we will talk about this in details. Task 1, usually it could be a diagram, a pie chart, anything that is related to numbers, yes, and statistics. Excellent. Then you need to move this image that you see, this beautiful picture, into writing. Usually this one, it takes 20 minutes. Then the last 40 minutes, that is for task 2 writing, which is, if you remember, like what we used to do in baccalaureate, they give you like a topic and they tell you write about it. Yes, almost the same, but this time with 250 words. Double the number, double the words. Okay, so here you have task 2. In task 2, you are going to to write about an essay. Usually this essay is about agreement, disagreement, if you advantages and disadvantages about something, pros and cons about other things. Usually they give you a specific topic to write about. Together, task 1 and task 2 would be 60 minutes. Okay? So if you calculate, it's, how long is it? 2 hours and a half? 2 hours and a half. Now the speaking part is always, we said, on a different day, or if you want, it's going to be on the same day, early morning or in the afternoon. It's only between 11 to 14 minutes. This one is a little bit confusing because this is the only one that you sit in front of the examiner. Okay, so in this one you should be like completely relaxed and comfortable and easygoing and those on. It's only for 11 to 14 minutes. Again, it's a 3 parts or 4 parts. No, 3 parts. In part 1, it's going to be a general question about your life, your work, what do you do for a living, what do you study, etc. Part 2, they give you a specific topic to talk about. And part 3, it's going to be different. Part 3, it's going to be like extended questions. In this part, the examiner will test, what do you think? Why do you think you need to do the speaking test? Already you did the listening, already you did the reading and the writing. Why do you need to do the listening, the speaking, I mean?
Maybe grammar?
Grammar, they can check in writing. Accent? The nice thing, they don't care about accent because each one has a different accent. So this is a good point for us. What do you think? Vocabulary you can choose, you can show in your writing as well.
You said we can cheat it.
About what?
Confidence.
Confidence. This is good.
Your behavior.
Behavior. Okay, thank you.
You practice your language.
Excellent. How you practice your language, your fluency. They check your fluency. Now, this is something very important. Don't say, oh, I don't have this good accent in English. I'm not going to pass. No, they don't care about your accent. They care about your pronunciation. If you pronounce the word correctly, I don't know, this is the problem. But if your accent is not it's not a British accent and it's not an American accent, of course, if you have a British accent, an American accent, I don't need this course, right? So they don't care about the accent. What they care about is the pronunciation of the words, how you speak, the fluency, how the coherence and the coherence of your ideas. Can you link your ideas together, or you are confused and you don't know how to use the language? Okay, but by the way, usually, alhamdulillah, the Syrian students, they pass and they get high score in listening and in speaking. So don't worry about these 2 parts. Okay? Don't worry about this. Usually you get good score in this. Okay? Any questions so far? No? You're so quiet. Are you always like this? No, please. Please no, right? Okay, I'm confused in front of Sharaf. Please don't tell him. Okay? Okay, now, the following IELTS preparation tips. Now, I prepared some tips for you. Hopefully these tips will help you. Don't laugh, I can see you. These tips will help you in organizing your ideas and how you can pass this exam. If you want to be with us or if you want to study alone, it's a kind of help for all of us. The first one is reading. Reading section of the IELTS consists of 3 passages of increasing difficulty, and there is about total 40 questions. No matter if the passage is short, long, shorter, longer, the number of questions will still the same. So don't worry about this. Now, you don't finish the time if you are not done. I don't want to consume all the time on passage 1 and passage 2 because I want to get good score. No, you need to answer all the questions. The nice thing in IELTS, if you answer wrong, it would not be a minus for you. Okay, so you just answer, don't leave any space empty. It might be your lucky day and these answers will be correct. So this would be a very good thing for you. Okay. In reading, why do they do the reading? They test the variety of vocab that you have. They test your comprehension. When you read, did you understand what did you read about, or you didn't understand what you read about? Okay, this is something very important. They test your ideas. They test how you can complete the exam. How can you do the exam? What can you do next, etc. So, sure.
Your advice is to read the question first or
This is Fatah, what we are going to talk about in details during like it depends, by the way, it depends. Some students, they said, no, I prefer to have a general idea. We will talk about skimming and scanning. And this will help you a lot, how to skim the passage and how to scan. You will learn the difference between skimming and scanning. Other students, they will tell you, no, miss, I prefer to read the questions and then I read and I can concentrate more while I'm reading. We will talk about all these techniques later on during the course, inshallah. Okay? Now, this is the writing skill. In the writing skill, as we always, who can remind me how many kinds of writing do we have in the exam? Thank you. What are they? Yes, please. Task one, what does it talk about? Excellent, describing diagrams, pie charts, comparing two pie charts or two diagrams, etc. What is task two? About any topic, they choose a topic for us and they tell you to write about it. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, you're good. But you're very quiet, right? Okay. So in task one, requires candidate to interpret a diagram in their own words. So they show you this, talk about it, use your own words. Task two, candidates write an essay in response to a point of view, argument or problem. Do you agree or disagree about something? Give me the advantages and advantages about, like, should children learn computer at school? And then you will discuss those points of view. Now, do you think we should talk about only advantages or only disadvantages? Both. You should talk about both equally, and then you show your point of view, and like in the conclusion. Yes. Okay. Now the following is for listening. This is the easiest part, by the way. Listening, in the listening section, and the most interesting one. This is the most interesting one. Whenever I see you bored, the lesson is gonna, you are going to get crazy, I just put listening for you because all of you will get involved and all of you will answer correctly and you will pass. Okay, in this section would be required to listen to 4 recorded texts, and we will know the difference between the listening recording. We have 4 parts. 1 and 3 are the same. 2 and 4 are nearly the same, but with different, the level of difficulty will be different. And not only this, also they will talk about academic stuff, because you are going to talk about academic IELTS. Everything is going to be about academic stuff, okay? Now we will talk about general as well. The last one, this is the only one that you can see your examiner. It is a speaking one. The speaking section of the IELTS test is the candidate's speaking ability and the vocal clarity. This segment includes a one-to-one interaction between the student or the candidate and the examiner themselves. Now you will tell me, okay, now I know all of these. Why do I need to take the IELTS course? Why? Techniques, skills. Thank you. What else?
You have to practice,
Maybe, very, very good. You have to practice. How do you think the IELTS is scored? 9. Out of 9. Very good. Do we have halves?
Yes.
Sure. What is the average that is required for the university? 6.5 to 7 for scholarships. The same, 6.5 till 7. Excellent. Very good. How do they score? Like I said, you have 40 questions here, 40 questions here. How do they?
Every test have its mark.
Every test has its own mark, and like they give you a point for each correct answer, and then they calculate. Of course, during the course, we will teach you how to calculate your answers and how to try to know what your band is, what your average is. So, which 2 skills do you think you can calculate by yourself?
Listening
and reading. Thank you. Writing and speaking?
No.
Why not?
Because writing, there is task 1 and task 2.
Okay.
You need to merge.
Okay.
The mark of task 1 and the mark of task 2.
Very good. Which task do you think in writing worth more grades? Task 2. That's why I told you always 20 minutes is enough for task 1, 40 is more for task 2. Now, for writing and speaking, you need an expert to help you. You need a teacher to help you how to score, like of course, you will not get the full score, but you know, it's almost how to manage to score at the end, okay, to improve your score. Okay. Now, IELTS is designed to assess English language skills at all levels. Your total IELTS score will be a combination of the band scores from the 4 sections. So it's a combination of 4. Some universities, they ask you, I need you to get 6.5, but at least 6 in writing.
Yes.
You need to be careful with this. Other scholarships, no, they need more in, usually they ask in writing and speaking rather than listening and reading. Usually they focus on writing and speaking more, okay? So you need to improve yourself in these 2 sections. You will receive IELTS scores based on each of the 4 skills on a band of 1 to 9. Also, you can get 5 or 5.5, 6 or 6.5, 7 or 7.5. So halves are okay in the IELTS exam. Okay. Now, this is how they divide the bands. Band 9, that means you're an expert user. What do I mean by expert user?
Native speaker.
Can be a native speaker, thank you. Thank you. You can read, you can cheat, it's okay. Sometimes cheating is okay. So, yes? No comments? Okay. Okay, so yeah, means you have you know how to use English in a fluent way, in an excellent way. Your reading is amazing. Your comprehension is very good. You have good writing, amazing writing skills, excellent speaking skills, as well as listening skills. So this is band 9, and it's not impossible, by the way. It's not impossible. Like we have many got between 7.5 till 8. It's not a big deal. Like if you practice, it's a matter of practicing. The more you practice, the better score you will get.